welcome back to the Exeter Estate. Today we are talking about the installation of our lap siding on this home. I have said before that it might be a real wood. It is a composite, and we are going to show you how we go through the steps of installing this, from the blank wall where we have our weather-resistant barrier, to installing the furring strips, to priming the siding prior to installation, to installing the siding, and then methods of installing the siding as far as manufacturer specifications of distance between siding, distance between furring strips, and then distance between fastening to the studs of the house itself. We've discussed previously how we put together our wall system and our weather-resistant barrier. Today we're a little further along, and you can see that we've added the furring strips, which creates an air gap behind the siding to allow water to get behind, down, run out the bottom. And it also allows for air, so when water is behind there, it's allowed to dry out much more quickly. And then we have our siding here, and we've got it primed before we've installed it. We've primed the tongue, and we've primed the bottom edge as well, so that when it goes in, anything that is not painted will be primed before it gets installed. We've done that. You can see where we've added corners so that everything has dyed into the corner nice and neatly. Then we've also allowed for a little bit of a gap between that we've foamed for shrinkage and expansion, because this will, when put in the sun, shrink and expand along with the weather, moisture, sun, heat, etc. So we allow for a little bit of a difference. That gap will get caulked, which will allow it to shrink and expand with the weather elements. In addition to that, you can see here where we've used some boots, and we've created a way to keep water out of these penetrations through the wall, so that when we get to a point where siding meets those areas, water will flow down and out around those as well. We've used those in some cases when you can't find a boot that fits it exactly, and then we do that as a fail-safe when boots aren't readily available. As we attach our siding, you'll see that we've got areas where we've tried to make sure that wherever we have furring strips, we'll go along that section, and then in other areas we'll go through to where we actually attach to a stud so that the siding can't pull away from the home later as it shrinks and expands. Making sure that you attach it to a stud is key when you're installing a piece of siding, because it's pretty simple when you add this gap here to not have an anchor that's deep enough that goes all the way through the siding, the furring strip, the OSB, and actually attach to a stud. And as they're installing, they are, of course, making sure that they meet the manufacturer's recommended specifications for the nailing pattern. You don't ever want to have a distance that's too great between fasteners so that it allows for gaps to bow. These are approximately 12 inches apart, so we've nailed in those areas, which means that every few feet that we're hitting studs to make sure that we are attached to the home securely, and then we don't have an area where we've gone too far a distance to allow for bows in the wall or allow for weak fastening. Thank you for watching us today. Be sure and tune in as we finish up this siding. We'll move on to the real cedar shake siding, and then soon we'll show you how the brick has been installed on the home as well.